Hello everybody. In this video we'll talk about the top 5 reasons why you should apply for the E-2 investor visa and how it can benefit you. We'll cover what the E-2 visa is all about and the main benefits of applying for this visa in 2021. So what are you waiting for? I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody and welcome back to our immigration channel. This is a place where you get the most up-to-date immigration news, immigration information, and everything else that you need to make your immigration journey less stressful. My name is Jacob Sapochnik and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California, and I help clients in all 50 states. And if you're here for the first time, make sure to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to share this video with more people just like you. So let's talk about the E-2 visa. I've been getting quite a few messages and questions about E-2 visa. Are there any big changes? Why would I apply for the E-2 visa? And actually, how does it really work? So the E-2 visa is also known as the investor visa. The E-2 visa is an investor visa, and that will allow an entrepreneur or business owner, anybody who wants to start a business in the United States with a specific amount of money, which is not defined by law, but it will depend on the kind of business that the person is interested in starting, to come to the United States and essentially settle here and start a business. So it's an amazing visa, and I'm going to go over the 5 main reasons why the E-2 visa could be the right visa for you. So let's jump into reason number 1. You can legally work in your own business that you started or a business that you purchased in the United States for as long as you operate that business. This is a major advantage because most work visas require a job offer. So you need an employer that will sponsor you. It really is not up to you. You have to convince the employer to give you the job offer. You have to convince an employer to actually sponsor you for a visa. When you have an E-2 visa, you control your destiny. You build a business, you start a business, and you are responsible for your own work visa. You also have to show that you're going to be developing and directing the business by at least controlling 50% of your business and have significant managerial control in your business. In addition to that, the investment that you put in the business cannot be marginal in the sense that you actually have to operate a real and viable business. Second reason why the E-2 visa is a perfect visa for you is that there is no minimum amount of investment. What does it mean? It means that the government doesn't specify a minimum or maximum amount of investment for the E-2 visa. However, the investment must be substantial enough for the kind of business that you operate, and you cannot just withdraw the money that you invest in your business after you file for the E-2 visa. Let's go over what substantial investment means in terms of the E-2 visa. What that means is that the capital investment must be proportionate to the kind of business that you operate. While we typically recommend our investors to invest at least $100,000 when they start an E-2 visa, we've seen cases that were approved with less than $50,000 as well. But again, if you want to be able to convince the consular officer that you're coming to start a real business, it's definitely important to show that you have some money to start the business, that you have some money to invest, and also that you're not going to be depending on this business to live in the United States. That investment stands on its own. Number 3, the E-2 visa will allow your spouse, if you're married, to obtain a work permit and you have children under the age of 21. Those children are going to be able to live in the United States and attend school as well. Spouses of E-2 visa holders are allowed to apply for an EAD, work authorization, to work in the United States once the E-2 visa is approved by the principal applicant. The E-2 visa spouse will be eligible. Number 4, the E-2 visa holder can travel freely inside and outside the United States. So once you obtain an E-2 visa and a passport, if you apply for the E-2 visa at the US Embassy, you now have a visa, a multiple entry visa. You'll be able to go in and out of the United States freely. There's no restrictions for the work permit as long as the principal E-2 visa holder has the business and continues to operate the business. Number 4, the E-2 visa holder can travel freely inside and outside the United States. So once you obtain an E-2 visa and a passport, if you apply for the E-2 visa at the US Embassy, you now have a visa, a multiple entry visa. You'll be able to go in and out of the United States freely. There's no restrictions. The only caveat is that some people apply for the E-2 visa as a change of status. So you have the right to apply for it directly with the US Embassy without going through the US immigration at all. Or if you come as a tourist or as a student or in any other non-immigrant status, you're eligible to change your status to the E-2. But if you do that, you only get a 2-year status to live and work in the United States. But if you apply for the visa at the embassy, you now have a free right to go back and forth and conduct your business internationally if that's the nature of your business as well. The other advantage of this free movement of the E-2 is that if you get an E-2 visa, you're not required to stay in the United States for the whole time. The rules of the E-2 visa do not limit you as to how long you have to spend in the United States once you get the E-2 visa. So for example, we have E-2 visa clients that run a real estate E-2 visa management companies. So these investors are not always inside the United States. They live here for a few months. They have their business, they operate, but then they have operations overseas as well. So they're not limited in staying in the United States for a certain amount of time. They can be here for a little bit. They can get their social security number. They can run their businesses, but they're not stuck living in the United States if they don't have to or if they don't want to. So it's a great advantage of the E-2 visa, unlike many other non-immigrant visas that require you to live here a certain amount of time. Otherwise, you may not be eligible anymore for the visa. Number 5. You can stay in E-2 status indefinitely. What does it mean? So unlike, for example, the H-1B visa that expires after 6 years max, the L-1 visa after 7 years, the O-1 visa, they're capped also maybe at 5 years. The E-2 visa can be renewed indefinitely. As long as you have your business, as long as you continue to expand and build your business, you're going to be able to continue and renew your E-2 visa indefinitely. This is amazing because there are many investors that are not interested in getting a green card for whatever reason, maybe for tax purposes or just that they have no interest in becoming US residents. They are able to stay on the E-2 visa for 10, 15, sometimes 20 years. You know, we have a client that operates an E-2 visa right here in California, and they've had the E-2 visa for 15 years. They received the visa in 5 years increments in their passport, and they've been renewing it for the past 15 years, so it's possible. So it's another amazing advantage of the E-2 visa. So as you can see, it's highly flexible and very adaptable to so many people that want to use it as their option to live in the United States, but not necessarily become green card holders or turn it into a more permanent solution to live in the United States. In conclusion, the E-2 visa is a very flexible visa and may be a great opportunity for a lot of people that just want to come here, be able to start a business, move their family over here, but they have no other ways of doing it. Now, for those people that want to actually get a green card from the E-2, there are other ways, and we've got some videos that talk about that, and I may be doing an updated video as to how to convert the E-2 to a green card in 2021. Once again, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. If you want to set up a consultation with me and discuss your plans to move to the United States and maybe start a business or get the E-2 visa, make sure you text me at 619-483-4549, and I look forward to helping you as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.